Hi everyone, I just wanted to officially welcome you as our university supervisors for spring 2021. We're very excited to be working with you throughout the next semester. This video training will be replacing the in-person training that we had pre-COVID, so I hope that you'll take the time to watch this short video about our expectations and all of the paperwork required for internship. Let us know how we can help. Before we get started with the training, I just wanted to take a few seconds to introduce myself. I'm Melissa, and I primarily teach in the special education department here at USC-Aiken. In the spring, I'll also be serving as the field experience coordinator. Please use my preferred contact, which is my Melissa MA email address, if you need immediate answers to questions. You can always use the field experience email too if you just have general inquiries. Looking forward to working with you all.
Hi, my name is Kelly Hester. I am the Administrative Assistant for the Field Experience Office. My main job as it pertains to the internship process is the logistics of the internship placement for the student teacher, the assignment of the university supervisor, and to receive the paperwork at the end of the semester to complete it for grading, reporting, and certification for the soon-to-be graduates. Really, we're all here to help, so in any way we can be a benefit, please let us know. On a personal note, you will notice the picture on this page shows 3 of the many things that I love in life. My husband Terry of 37 years, my kids and grandkids, 2 of which are shown in that picture, Landon and Laylee. And being outdoors. We're hiking there in Hocking Hills, Ohio on a kind of cold, rainy day. But those are just 3 of things I love to do, most of which include the outdoors in some way. But that's who I am, and that's what I do. And again, any way I can be of benefit, just let me know.
The goal of this presentation is to explain the triad expectations, to review the required paperwork involved with internship, and to give you a brief summary of what we're going to be doing in senior seminar this semester. The next couple of slides will go over the triad expectations. The triad consists of an intern, a cooperating teacher, and you as the university supervisor. I use CT for cooperating teacher and US for university supervisor throughout this PowerPoint. So here you can see the roles and responsibilities chart for everyone involved in the triad. So first for our intern, obviously the intern must complete the entire internship, which goes through April. The intern must teach for at least 10 full days. They must work with you and the cooperating teacher regarding lesson planning. They're going to have to turn in a student learning objective, or the SLO, to our senior seminar class. And they are required to attend the Day of Diversity here at USC-Aiken. So even our students who aren't located in Aiken are required to come to our campus on March 26th. This is replacing the diversity conference that our interns typically go to. Then in the middle of our chart, you'll notice the cooperating teacher responsibilities, and then on the third column is the university supervisor. So these responsibilities are the exact same for the CT and the US, so you'll be observing the intern at least twice before midterm. You'll be conducting a midterm triad evaluation where you'll be completing some paperwork. You'll observe the intern an additional 2 times after midterm, between midterm and the final, and then you'll hold a final triad meeting and complete some paperwork. please note that you are responsible as the university supervisor to submit all of the paperwork at the end of internship. So you'll collect the formative observations from the CT and yourself. They'll have 8 in total across the 2 people. And then you'll collect the evaluations at midterm and at final. So you'll turn that entire packet into us. The intern does not do this. The university supervisor submits all paperwork to the School of Education. Our intern orientation was on December 1st, 2020, and we explained to the interns that they need to work with the CT and US to determine how often and the format in which lesson plans will be submitted. So I made it clear that they're not determining the lesson plans to me, but they needed to work out a plan with you and the CT. So that could be related to the format, whether they use the USCA template or maybe the school district template or another option, and then how often and when they should submit those to you. So they know that they need to work that out with you and the CT. I just want to reiterate that the Day of Diversity is mandatory for them, so they will have an excused absence from internship on March 26th when they have to come to the USC Aiken campus to attend our Day of Diversity. Again, this is replacing the typical diversity conference in which we ask students to go to Upstate or Benedict. All university supervisors will have access to GoReact, so you can review the recorded videos for your interns. These videos will replace the in-person observations that our university supervisors previously did before COVID. Essentially, the interns will record 4 lessons, 2 before midterm and 2 after, and they will upload them into the GoReact site. Once you're logged in, you'll have access to all of our intern videos, but so you'll scroll to find your intern, and you can provide timestamp comments in GoReact for your feedback, if that's the way that you would like to provide that feedback to them. Kelly Hester will be sending you a GoReact invitation soon so that you can use that link to either sign in and make an account or just have access to the new site if you already have an existing account. The next few slides will be discussing the suggested sequence for our interns and the start and end dates for their internship. The suggested sequence for when students take classes or subjects or groups will be followed in the next few slides with a monthly calendar. But I just wanted to point out a few things before we get there. Our interns should gradually take classes or subjects or groups and then gradually release them back to the CT. They must teach 10 full days. Please note that I've kind of suggested the first 2 weeks in March, and that is because of how the calendar worked for the suggested sequence, but also because I'll be giving them those 2 weeks off from senior seminar because I'm anticipating that they'll be teaching all day and might need some time to catch up on lesson plans at night those weeks. But again, you'll please work with the cooperating teacher and the intern for your final sequence based on the district calendars. I know that some of the districts have kind of random PD days thrown in there. I think Horse Creek Academy also has a week off in February. So all of those things will need to be considered when you finalize the sequence for your interns. Here is our suggested sequence for January. Please note that all of our interns, regardless of district, start on January 4th, 2021. Here is our suggested sequence for February. Here's our suggested sequence for March. I have circled the day of diversity in which all of our students will be required to come to the USCEA campus that day. Here is April's calendar. Please note that regardless of district, all of our interns have the week of April 5th off for spring break. Internship will be wrapping up on April 30th. That is also the date when all of the paperwork will need to be submitted to the School of Education. So again, April 30th is the last day for interns and the very last day you can submit the paperwork. And finally, here's the calendar for May. Our students won't be in their schools, but we'll be having an internship ceremony on May the 5th, which is also the day of graduation. For the next few slides, we're going to be discussing the required paperwork for internship. First, the interns will be required to keep an attendance confirmation form. Throughout internship, they'll simply note the times they were at the school every single day, and the CT will sign off throughout internship and at the very end. As the university supervisor, you'll be completing the formative observation form 2 times before midterm. You will use the 4.0 rubric to score the students' planning, teaching, and environment. Then you'll develop reinforcement and refinement objectives for the intern. During this time, the CT will also complete 2 formative observations about 2 different lessons before midterm. This is just a suggestion, but we recommend that you hold the midterm conference before the intern's 10 full days of teaching begins. We believe that your feedback will be valuable to the intern as he or she kind of moves to full-time teaching. After the US and the CT have completed the 2 observations each, so at midterm you should have 4 formative observations, then you'll meet together as a triad. That is, you'll meet with the intern and the cooperating teacher to fill out the midterm form. You will evaluate the planning, instruction, environment, and professionalism of the intern at midterm, and you will develop reinforcement and refinement goals. Also at the midterm triad meeting, you will all work together to complete the disposition form for the intern. After midterm, you'll complete another 2 formative observations. The cooperating teacher will also complete an additional 2 observations. Therefore, at the end of internship, the intern should have 8 formative observations total, 4 from you and 4 from the cooperating teacher. At the final triad meeting, you will complete the final form in which you will evaluate the planning, instruction, environment, and professionalism. You will also provide a recommendation regarding the completion of internship. Also at the final triad meeting, you will work together to complete the dispositions form. Also at the final triad meeting, you will all work together to complete the addendum for the specific program of your intern. So some of you will complete the special ed addendum, some elementary, and so on. So you'll pick the addendum appropriate for your intern. So just in summary, you'll have 2 formative observations by the cooperating teacher before midterm. You'll have 2 formative observations by you before midterm. At midterm, you'll complete the midterm form as well as the dispositions form. Then you'll have 2 more formative observations by the CT after midterm, 2 more formative observations by you after midterm, and then at the final triad meeting, you'll have the final form, a dispositions form, and an addendum. All of these forms can be found on the USC Aiken School of Education homepage. Please click Forms to access them. This is what our forms page currently looks like. So if you scroll to the header of Internship, you can find all of these forms that we just discussed throughout this presentation. Please remember on the formative observations that you'll be using the 4.0 rubric. This can be found on the South Carolina Department of Ed website, or you can email us for a copy. For the rest of this presentation, I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of what we have in store for senior seminar. One of the assignments our interns will be completing daily throughout senior seminar and internship in the spring is their Today I Made a Difference reflection. And so I asked them at orientation just to jot down every single day a way in which they made a difference that day. And it could be small differences or large differences, but I just encourage them to think critically about how they have made a difference, either in a student's life, maybe in their CT's lives, maybe the whole class or the whole school, but some way that they made either a small or big difference, and then jot down why it mattered. We also talked at intern orientation about their first assignment for senior seminar, and it is the completion of the online teaching workshop for education majors. Dr. Lunsman created this for us, and it's located on Blackboard. They were given instructions about how to access this, and it's not due until the end of January, but we strongly recommended that they complete this over winter break in anticipation that some districts may be virtual from the first day of internship. We also talked about our expectations related to dispositions, and we talked about our motto of bringing our A game, meaning to be professional, be open-minded, be respectful, be committed, and be positive. So I will constantly be using this language throughout senior seminar and asking them explicitly how they have been professional and open-minded and respectful and committed and positive throughout their time during internship. So we just wanted to share that with you in case you wanted to use the same language too. And finally, these were just the graphics or the visuals that we used to go along with our 5 expectations to bring in your A game for internship. So I wanted to share that with you. Again, we are so appreciative of your time. We are so looking forward to working with you in the spring. And please, please reach out with any questions. Thanks.